Hi besties, welcome back to Jikoni Magic's Meza. It is that season again where we meet with family, make merry, be jolly. It's the festive season. The whole of December in Kenya inaitangwa mwezi wa sherehe. I am going to hook you up with a 3-course meal. We are going to have as our starter cream of tomato soup. Our main meal where, in Kenya, what's sherehe bila mchele somewhere? So not just any mchele, it's going to be a very aromatic chicken pilau, and it's going to be accompanied by some kachumbari maembe or mango salsa if you're being fancy. And I'm also going to accompany it with a side of steamed veggies. For our dessert, we're going to be having strawberry milkshake that's also going to have homemade strawberry syrup karibuni. So to start us off, I am going to start by getting the strawberries out of the fridge because we need to have the syrup going and it needs to set and become a bit thick. So I am using 2 pannets of 250 grams. Make sure you remove this part. Okay. So I have finished with the strawberries. Next, I'm going to wash them. I'll just wash them with vinegar and water. I'm also going to be using the lemon. I'll grate, get the rind out, and squeeze out some juice to add the vavavoom to the strawberry syrup. The strawberries are already clean. Add 3/4 cups of sugar. And usually there is no need to add water to the strawberries. They're soft. They are going to break down from the heat and the sugar. So just let them cook down slowly. Okay, so I'm going to do it on very low heat. Then just reduce it to low and let them sit there. Okay. Very soon you're going to see all that moisture released from the strawberries. Okay. The strawberries have already started releasing their own moisture. Okay, and the sugar is now going to melt inside that liquid. I let it go until the strawberries had really broken up. It's cooled down a bit. Now I don't know if you have come across this Tefal manual chopper. It's a very handy gadget. Yeah, I'll show you how it works. I'm going to use it for prepping the rest of our ingredients. That is the tomatoes, the onions, the ginger garlic for the pilau. So let me show you how it works, and I'm sure by the time I'm finishing up with it, you're going to love it like I do. So we're going to start with our onions. Cut it into manageable pieces that can go into the chopper without a problem, and then just go ahead and put it in the chopper. So once you put in the chopper, there's this bit over here. So it's the one that's going to lock with this part. So make sure that you hold it securely over here. Yeah, press it down and then simply just pull. So once you pull it out like that, it will always just keep going back on its own. And here we are. It didn't even take me like more than 10-12 pulls. Yeah, this is how the onions look like. Okay, so what I want to do now is get some of the onions so that I can use them for the kachumbari, and then the ones that are going to remain will be used for the pilau. I'm going to put some salt to that. The salt is going to make sure that the onions do not remain tasting that sharp onion taste that they usually have. And I'm also going to do some bit of vinegar. This is just plain white vinegar. That's like a tablespoon. You don't need a lot because the onions are going to start releasing moisture because of the salt. So these are 3 bulbs of garlic. I already removed the skin. I don't think you wanted to see me do that. And I already peeled the ginger. So that's the size of ginger that I'm going to be making. And we're still gonna use our handy dandy chopper. So yeah. basically just cut to ensure that it's manageable. And then I'm also going to add in the garlic. Remember that arm workout? Could even do a routine of some dance if you wanted. I have finished. Let me show you how it looks like. Okay, this is what I was going for. Okay, now we are ready to make our tomato soup, and I'll start by roughly chopping our onions. We don't need for them to be finely chopped. Then put an oil of your choice. I am pro sunflower oil. Turn on your heat. So we're going to let the onions soften. As that is going on, let me get the tomatoes so that I can start washing and cutting them up. Okay, so I've gotten my 3 tomatoes. Yeah, I'll wash them and then proceed to cut them up. I'll show you how I'm going to cut them. Remove the core. Quarter them depending on the size you have. Okay, so I'll do the same to the rest. So the reason I'm not adding the ginger and garlic at the moment is because the onions will take a bit of time to cook, and I want to draw out the sugars, make the whole tomato soup to be, you know, have a depth of flavor. So that's what I'm doing here. All right, now the onions are where I would like for them to be. So I'm going to add the ginger and garlic. The thing about ginger and garlic is, especially the garlic, it will cook just like that. We don't want it burning. We want to maintain the flavor. Once it turns fragrant, we will add the tomatoes. Okay, so now is a good time to add the tomatoes. So to that, I'm going to add some salt. Okay, it will help in drawing out the moisture. Thyme. Just a sprinkling, not too much. We don't want to overwhelm the dish. Dried parsley. Again, just a bit, don't overwhelm it. Oregano. My very much loved colored peppers. Balsamic vinegar, not too much. It's going to add a depth of flavor. I find that it goes very well with the tomatoes in this instance. We're going to roast our tomatoes inside the air fryer. We don't have to turn on our oven. So let me reach for it. We have it here. I want to do them at a very high temperature of 200 degrees C. So now I'm going to put this. It's heated up. Okay. So it will go at the 200 C, set it to 15 minutes. So what I'm looking to get from the tomatoes is a bit of char, and that's also going to add a very nice depth of flavor. So stick around to see how it comes out. So the air fryer is going to be very busy today. What I want to make next is bread pizza. This is just a very quick snack to make sure that the kids do not get very hungry. So for that, what I'll be doing is wiping the mushrooms. They sometimes come with starch on top. So to make sure that I remove them, what I do is I just wipe. So I'll keep doing this to the rest of the mushrooms until I'm done. So I'm going to be using the Tefal Thermospot wok. It's become one of my most favorite gadgets in the kitchen. Some oil. As the oil is heating up, what I'll start doing is chopping the mushrooms just like so. If you want, you could get rid of the stalks. I usually don't. And let's go together and check on the tomatoes that I put in the air fryer. We check on the progress. Okay, so this is how it looks. The tomatoes, the skin has started receiving or getting a bit of a char. And yeah, I'll let that go for 5 more minutes and see how it looks like. The wok is already hot. Let's add the mushrooms, salt, so that the moisture is drawn out faster. Cracking the peppers. So we're going to let the mushrooms caramelize, and then I'll show you what next. Meanwhile, let's check on the tomatoes. I have gotten them out of the air fryer. You can see they have become quite soft. Okay, nothing stuck to the bottom, very important, as you can see. So now what I'm going to do next is let the tomatoes simmer away for about let's say close to 10 minutes. A bit of water. It could do with a bit more salt. And I also feel like it could benefit from just a small bit of sugar. I'll be starting off with about a teaspoon of sugar to see how that one goes. Okay, so let that simmer away. And on this other pan, the mushrooms are ready. Okay, so I'm going to remove them from the wok, set them aside, and then add some mincemeat. That's because the pizza is going to be of 3 types. One will be a mixture of the mincemeat and the mushrooms. The other one will just be mushrooms, and the other one will just be mincemeat. I'm just going to brown it and take what I need. The rest, I'll be using it for something else that I'm planning to do with it. Okay, so by now the tomatoes, as you can see, they've really softened up. They have released their flavors. So this is when I'm going to add the cream. Let it come up to just a simmer. Then I'm going to remove it and put it in the blender. So one thing I like about this blender is the fact that it's got tempered glass. It can handle hot food stuff very well. So I've let the soup cool down just slightly, and it's important when you're blending hot things to leave this part open. And on top of that, I'm going to place something. So I've not exactly placed this to be so tight. It's just to stop anything that might want to jump out, not to jump out. So that leaves enough room for the steam to escape so that pressure doesn't build inside here. Soup done. One of the other features that I love absolutely about this is it's got auto clean. It will clean this up for me automatically, and to that I'm also going to be adding a few drops of the dishwashing liquid, and I'm also going to just put a bit of warm water because it's greasy. Cover. And we auto clean. You can see it's done a very good job of removing all what was on top here, and also within the blades things are not stuck on as much. So now I'll just take this to the sink, wash it, and then I'm going to use it again for a cold recipe that I'm going to show you just now. It has browned, as you can see. So I throw in the ginger, garlic, oregano, basil, thyme. I've already divided the mincemeat. I'm going to put some of the mushrooms. So I already have tomato sauce. This is like a 1/4 cup. Okay, I'm just adding mixed herbs. Apply the base. As I'm doing that, I'm going to also start preheating my air fryer on the pizza setting. I'm going to preheat it for 3 minutes. So in the meantime, I'll start by making the mushroom bread pizza. And next I'm going to grate the mozzarella cheese on top. Parchment paper. It usually makes it much easier to get your pizza out because you just slide it out. It's usually a very tight squeeze, so I just do 2 at a go. Put it inside. What I'm looking for is to have the cheese on top melt. It's now taken 5 minutes, and let's have a look at our bread pizzas. You can see the cheese has melted and it has started browning on top. So I'm going to pull the bread pizza out, put the next one and the next one until I'm done. You can hear the crunch, I'm sure. The pool is still there. I absolutely love seeing that. And I can adopt you if you want. So if you've made it up till this far, thank you so much. And what I'd like to say is 60 to 70% of you who are watching right now have not yet subscribed. What are you waiting for? Bonyeza kidude and just say you have subscribed. Hit the notification bell. So let me go ahead and describe this pizza. The yellow bread works out very well. It's on the sweeter side of the bread spectrum. So it plays really well. I love pizza that is sweet and salty, Hawaiian pizza. So this is right up my lane. But if you do not like it, use another kind of bread, a more savory one, or like I said, kanda unga, make your own pizza. Okay. And to finish off our creamy tomato soup, I have bread. I had 1 slice remaining of white bread that I'm going to drizzle on some sunflower oil to it. Okay. Toss it, toss it, toss it. And then this bread, I'm going to add it in the wok because I want it to crisp up, because I want to make croutons. So if you want, you could go ahead and start sprinkling some more herbs and whatever, but I won't do that because the tomato soup already has lots of herbs and things going on. So I'm going to keep this neutral. So I'm going to pour this in here. Okay. And just spread it out. And I'll just let them brown, crisp up. And then we're going to serve the soup with the croutons. And how pretty is my mug, my soup mug. I absolutely love it. This will prepare your tummy for the good things to come. And I'm also going to put some bit of cream. Okay, here's my hearty, thick, creamy tomato soup. Yeah, this would be a very good starter, sets the pace for what's going to come. And let's move on to our next one, which is the main meal, where we're going to be doing our very aromatic pilau. So now we're going to grind the spices that we will be using for the pilau. Okay, and we'll be using this attachment that comes with a Moulinex blender. Okay, these are our spices, the whole spices. I usually like grinding whole spices. So bay leaves, we have fennel seeds, we have cardamom, cinnamon. Inside here we've got some caraway seeds. We've also got some nutmeg that's broken into small pieces. So it all goes in here. Then we lock it. Come put our attachment in here. If you want to know you've done it correctly, you're going to see that light flash. And yep. And that is how it looks like on the inside. Okay, if you want, you could go ahead and sieve and get rid of the cardamom back, but I really don't mind it. So I'm going to start by making my pilau in the tefal wok, simply because I want to finish making it inside the rice cooker. And if you have attempted to saute onions or anything that does not have water, you'll find that the rice cooker keeps switching to keep warm instead of cooking continuously. So that's how I want to do that here. So I'll start by adding oil to the pan. I'm going to do 2 whole tablespoons of our freshly ground pilau masala. So I'm going to let this fry for maybe a minute or two to release the aromatics, the oils, all the flavor that they have, and then we'll move on from there. The kitchen is smelling quite aromatic. So next, I'm just going to throw in the onions, okay? And these onions are going to cook until they turn a nice lightish brown color. I have many pilau recipes on my channel. I'm going to link them up so that you can follow them if you so wish. Our onions have turned the nice brown that I was after. The ginger garlic that we have just finished making, 2 heaped tablespoons of it. Once you start smelling it, it's time to add the rest of the ingredients. And the rest of the ingredients is chicken breast. This is like the full breast. I have deboned it and cut it into these sizes. And then I'm going to let the chicken brown just a bit, and then I'll transfer the whole mixture into the rice cooker. And I'm also going to be adding some turmeric in there. That's like about a teaspoon of it. A chicken cube as well to enhance the flavor. And so I'm going to give this about 10 minutes or so. You can see some pieces have actually started to pick up on the color. So as that is going on, let me start working on our vegetables. And we have broccoli, and I also have the French beans or mishiri. So I'm yet to remove the ends, which is what I'll be doing. So in short, peel the carrots, cut off the stems, and cut off these parts, and then I'll bring you back. We are not going to have the carrots being too thin, so that's the size I'm going for, just like that. So I'm going to wash these, place them on top of the steamer for the rice cooker, and then I'll show you what next. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the rice cooker. Okay, there it's on, and I want it to go to the cook setting, and I'm going to add water so that it can just start boiling and to get the chicken flavor out. And then I'm going to put in the rice and the rest of the water. These are 3 cups of rice, meaning we're going to do 3 cups of rice to 2 parts of water. Okay, so I'm going to cover this rice, let it come up to a boil, and then I'll wait when I see the water starting to disappear with the rice, or is it in the rice? That's when I'm going to come and add the steaming rack and place the vegetables on top, because I do not want them to overcook. So this is the stage that I was waiting for. You see the water is almost all gone, but it's not really gone. Place that there and put our veggies. So I'm going to cover them. So it already went to keep warm, and it's been here for about some 5 minutes or so. So now let's check on the veggies. Okay, they look nice. So now I'm going to take them out of here and take them to where the onions have already started sauteing. So here we are. The onions have started browning slightly. So next we just toss in the veggies. Okay. And we are also going to crack in some peppers. I like my colored peppercorns so much because they carry so much flavor. Some bit of oregano and thyme. Just a little bit, not so much. I think I'm also going to add just a little bit of oil on the sides like that. Don't forget to season. I already did it. Our veggies are ready. So now let's go ahead and make the kachumbari that I promised you. I'll be using 2 mangoes. I'm going to wash them and then cut them up. Okay, so I'm just cutting the mangoes into good enough bite-sized pieces. I'm also going to be adding the onions in here. I usually don't rinse mine. I'll add the vinegar bit if I feel there is really need to add. And now to make the dania. And lastly, we're going to make the tomatoes. I will not be making the tomatoes too small. So this is the size. I'm okay with it, as you can see. Okay, some salt, some black pepper to add a bit of vavavoom. And as for this vinegar, I'll decide after I toss the kachumbari together if it's really needed or not. So let me have a taste of everything. It could do with a bit of acid, not so much. Final taste. For me, it's okay. Okay, so of course, we wouldn't be ending this without a taste. So I want to pick a bit of everything. The rice, the kachumbari, the broccoli. It's just that the carrot cannot fit here, otherwise I would. Have you ever heard any YouTuber say their food is not good? I won't be the first. It's good. Try it. Tell me how you like it. Okay, now to be a bit more serious. What I like about the dish is the sweetness of this mango, okay? Then the bit of tartness that comes from the tomato, and then there's also the acid that was in the onions, okay? When it comes and blends with the usual spice mixture that is so aromatic of the pilau, and then the veggies, they have a freshness and some crunch to them. So the whole mouthful gives you that experience that you do not want to miss. So make sure you try this out. So now let's move on to our next item on our menu. We're going to make dessert, and for dessert we're going to have milkshake, strawberry milkshake. This milk that I have here, I had it in the freezer, so it's semi-frozen, if I can say that. You can see it's got some ice crystals there. Here is the strawberry that we made earlier. It's already cooled down. It was in the fridge. If you want, you can blend it, but I want it to have pulpy strawberry filling, okay? Next, we're going to throw things in our Moulinex blender. Remember what I told you, it can blend hot and cold. So 2 cups. So that's one very generous cup. Okay. Drop it in there. And the second very generous heaping, we're going to measure one of this, which is the ½ cup. Add it in there. The second one, there we go. Just that, not too much. Remember, it had a lot of sugar, so I cover it. And let it run. just the right consistency. And don't make a mess like me. And I've got strawberries that I'm going to use for garnish. Mnataka niseme it's rich, it's creamy. It's just the right balance of sweet. Yeah. Again, if you want it thinner, more milk. If you like it creamier, thicker, less milk. Yeah. And yeah. If you'd like more tips on how to make the most perfect rice every time you cook it in your rice cooker, please check out this video that I've linked up here. I've got all the details for you. Otherwise, enjoy your festive season. Please subscribe and bye bye.